Deep in a wood was a small cottage. It had a neat thatched roof, neat little windows, a neat little door, and a pretty little garden with neat little flower beds. In the cottage lived a family of bears. There was a father bear who kept a very tidy garden. He grew tall shrubs in tidy circles. He tended to lines of lettuces, carrots, and tomatoes, and he put up sticks for his runner beans. He wore Wellington boots, large leather gloves, and a floppy hat. He liked things to be just so. And there was Mother Bear, who kept a very tidy house. She wallpapered all the rooms with pretty patterns. She hung up curtains that she made herself. She put up little pictures on the walls. And she arranged all the crockery very tidily on the dresser. Then there was Baby Bear, who kept all his toys neatly in their boxes. When he had finished playing with one toy, he would put it tidily away before removing the next one from its box. On a cold spring morning, Father Bear was digging onion sets in a vegetable garden. Mother Bear was stirring a huge bowl of lovely, hot, thick, bubbling porridge. And Baby Bear was building a house with his toy wooden bricks in the playroom. When the porridge was ready, Mother Bear went out into the garden and shouted to Father Bear, "Father Bear, I have made some lovely, hot, thick, bubbling porridge for our breakfast. Do come and eat it, my dear, before it turns cold." Father Bear stopped his digging and looked up at Mother Bear. "Yes, Mother Bear, porridge will be just the thing on this chilly morning. What a splendid idea." "Yes, yes," said Mother Bear, "but do hurry. It would be nice to have it while it is still hot." "Where is Baby Bear?" asked Father Bear. "In the playroom, building a house with his bricks." "Ah, that little chap takes after his father. He has a really fine eye for detail, and that's what's important, you know. Detail." "Yes, dear," said Mother Bear, "but do hurry." "You see," continued Father Bear, "he is a very tidy little bear, just like his father." "You don't think he's a little bit too tidy?" said Mother Bear. "I mean, he does seem rather, well, pernickety." "Pernickety?" said Father Bear. "What do you mean by that?" "Well," said Mother Bear, "he's a bit of a fusspot." "Fusspot?" said Father Bear. "In what way?" "He won't let anyone touch his toys. He doesn't allow anyone into his playroom, and he doesn't have any friends." "Ha, ha, ha," said Father Bear. "He doesn't need friends. He's got me. I'm his friend." "But what about little bears of his own age?" asked Mother Bear. "I'm worried that he might get lonely. He's a very sensitive little bear." "Ah, no. He'll be all right. He's got his nice new toys. He's got his playroom, and if he gets tired of playing in there, he can come and help tidy up in the garden." "But the garden's already tidy," said Mother Bear. "Oh, no, said Father Bear. "In a garden, there is always tidying up to be done." "Well, I suppose you're right, dear," said Mother Bear. "But please be quick. You know how you like your porridge to be just so." "I'll just finish digging to the end of this row," said Father Bear. "Then I'll take off my Wellington boots and come in for breakfast." "Very well, dear," said Mother Bear, and she went back into the kitchen. "Jolly good," said Father Bear, and he went on with his digging. Then Mother Bear called to Baby Bear in his playroom. "Baby Bear," said Mother Bear. "Yes, Mother," said Baby Bear. "I have made some lovely hot, thick, bubbling porridge," said Mother Bear. "Do come and eat it, darling, before it turns cold." "Yes, Mother," said Baby Bear. "Some delicious porridge would be wonderful because I'm very hungry." Yes, yes, said Mother Bear. But do hurry. It would be nice to have it while it's still hot. I won't be long, Mother, but I must finish this house and tidy up the playroom so that it's neat and nice for when I come back, said Baby Bear. Oh, don't worry, said Mother Bear. You can do it later. Leave it for now. Oh, no, Mother, I couldn't possibly do that, said Baby Bear. I like everything to be in its place. Then, when I come back, I know where to find everything I need. You will be surprised, Mother, how easily things get lost. It isn't necessary, dear, said Mother Bear. No one is going to go into the room, so nothing will be disturbed. You can leave it just as it is. Nevertheless, Mother, said Baby Bear, one should always leave things tidy. I quite agree, dear. It's just that sometimes, on rare occasions, when you're in a hurry to come to have your breakfast, for example, you really don't have to be so precise. Breakfast, Mother, can wait, said Baby Bear solemnly. But it'll get cold, darling. You know how you like your porridge to be just so, said Mother Bear. In that case, I'll just finish laying this brick on the house, said Baby Bear. Then I'll tidy up the playroom and come in to breakfast. Very well, dear, said Mother Bear, and she went back into the kitchen. She put the lovely, hot, creamy, thick, bubbling porridge into 3 bowls, which she placed neatly on the table. She laid out 3 wooden spoons and waited for Father Bear and Baby Bear. Father Bear cleaned the mud off his Wellington boots. He put away his large leather gardening gloves and floppy hat, and he went into the kitchen. He sat down in his large wooden kitchen chair and tucked his napkin under his chin. Mother Bear took off her apron and hung it neatly inside the kitchen cupboard. She sat down in her middle-sized wooden kitchen chair and laid her napkin on her lap. Baby Bear put the last wooden brick on his house, tidied up the playroom, and went into the kitchen. He climbed up onto his tiny wooden kitchen chair, and Mother Bear put his napkin around his neck. Father Bear took a great big spoonful of the tasty-looking porridge. This porridge is far too hot, far too hot. Then Mother Bear took a medium spoonful of creamy porridge and blew on it. You're quite right, my dear, she said. It really is rather hot. And Baby Bear took a tiny spoonful of the steaming porridge, and he said, I think that it is too hot to eat. I suggest, said Father Bear, that we go outside for a little walk, and by the time we return, our porridge will have cooled. Yes, said Mother Bear. Let's go down to the Bluebell Wood. I'd rather go to Primrose Meadow, said Baby Bear. Don't you think Primrose Meadow is a bit too far? Asked Father Bear. The porridge might be stone cold by the time we get back. That's right, said Mother Bear. And we might get lost. The path gets terribly overgrown at this time of year. But Bluebell Wood is so muddy, complained Baby Bear. If you decide to go to Bluebell Wood, I'll stay behind, and you'll simply have to go without me. And if I get hungry, I'll just have to eat my porridge whether it's cooled or not, and if I scald the inside of my mouth, it'll be your fault. Oh, no, dear, cried Mother Bear. Don't do that. Of course we wouldn't leave you behind. Then we shall just have to go to Primrose Meadow, won't we? Said Baby Bear. If we put on our Wellington boots, it won't matter about the mud, said Father Bear soothingly. No, said Baby Bear. It's Primrose Meadow, or I eat the boiling porridge, and then you'll be sorry, won't you? Come, come, said Father Bear. Perhaps Primrose Meadow will be all right. If we leave immediately and we take care not to get lost, I'm sure we'll be back in time. I suppose you're right. Primrose Meadow it is, said Father Bear. Very well, dear, said Mother Bear. Goody, cried Baby Bear. And all 3 put on warm coats, long scarves and thick gloves, and they went for their walk to Primrose Meadow, leaving their 3 bowls of porridge upon the table to cool. Now, there lived in a nearby village a little girl with long blonde hair, and everyone called her Goldilocks. Unfortunately, she was extremely clumsy. She dropped things, she muddled things, and she broke things. and her mother grew so tired of her carelessness she asked Goldilocks to go for a walk. So Goldilocks set off through the village. She went to the woods to pick flowers, and before she had gone very far, she stopped. There, in front of her, was the three bears' perfect and neat little cottage. "Oh, my goodness," thought Goldilocks, "what a sweet little house." And she made her way up to the front door. As she approached, she noticed the pretty flowers growing by the path. "Oh, gracious," she said, "what wonderful flowers. I'm sure no one would notice if I picked just one or two." And she stepped onto the flower bed. Unfortunately, she found the blossoms so colourful, she soon forgot how many she had picked. Carrying her posy, she thought she would just peek through the dear little window. She crossed into the vegetable garden. Unfortunately, she accidentally trod on a succulent marrow, and she knocked over a tall tomato plant. Then she tripped over a round, fat lettuce and collided with the runner beans. The poor girl struggled for a while with the long, bendy sticks until she finally freed herself and toppled into the garden shed. Feeling rather dazed, she made her way to the little door of the cottage, hoping to find someone at home. She knocked on the door. At first, she knocked very lightly. As there was no reply, she knocked a little louder. Then, thinking that perhaps somebody might be in the back garden, she knocked as hard as she could. Unfortunately, the door swung open. Goldilocks crept in. "Hello," she said quietly. "Hello," she said again, a little louder. "Is anyone at home?" But there was no reply. "Oh, bother," said Goldilocks, and she stepped forward. She stopped suddenly. She could smell something very good to eat, and since she had gone out without having had any breakfast, she suddenly felt rather hungry. She walked through to the kitchen. Unfortunately, the mud from the garden came off her shoes, and she left dirty brown footprints as she went. When she reached the kitchen, she saw on the table the 3 bowls of steaming, tasty porridge. "Wow," said Goldilocks. "I wonder who's left their breakfast like that. If they don't want it, I'm sure they won't mind if I just have an itty-bitty taste." Goldilocks first went up to the big bowl and lifted the large wooden spoon to her mouth. "Ugh," she cried, "this porridge is too hot." She threw down the spoon and went to the middle-sized bowl and lifted the spoon of porridge to her mouth. "Ugh," cried Goldilocks, "this porridge is far too cold." So next she went to the smallest bowl and lifted the spoon of porridge to her mouth. "Ah," she cried, "this porridge is just right." And she ate it all up. Feeling rather full, Goldilocks decided she would sit down. She saw Father Bear's chair at the end of the table. She tried to get up into it, but she couldn't reach. "Ha," she said, "this chair is far too big." Then she tried Mother Bear's chair with its large cushion. "Oh, no," cried Goldilocks, "this chair is far too soft." Then she sat in Baby Bear's little high chair. She said, "this chair is just right." But as she settled back, the chair tipped up and smashed to pieces on the floor. "What a silly old chair," she thought, and she wandered through to the playroom, hoping to find something more sturdy to sit on. In the playroom, she found Baby Bear's toy house, built with wooden bricks. "Oh, how lovely!" cried Goldilocks, and she bent down to look through the tiny window. Unfortunately, as she did so, she put her hand upon the house, and it fell down. "Whoops," said Goldilocks. The little girl was by now feeling rather sleepy, so she made her way upstairs. Unfortunately, she left horrid finger marks all across Mother Bear's nice patterned wallpaper. When she reached the bedroom, she saw the 3 bears' comfy-looking beds all neatly made. "Oh, good," thought Goldilocks, and she lay down on Father Bear's great big bed. But it was not to her liking. "This bed is much too hard," she said. So she lay down on Mother Bear's middle-sized bed. But she didn't find that very comfortable either. "This bed is much too soft," cried Goldilocks. So she lay down on Baby Bear's tiny little bed. It was just the right size, and it wasn't too hard, and it wasn't too soft. She thought, "Oh, this is so nice and warm and comfortable. I'll have a little nap, and then I'll get up before anyone gets back, and then no one will know that I was here, and I'll go home and—" A moment later, little Goldilocks had fallen into a deep and happy sleep. Meanwhile, down in the wood, Father Bear, Mother Bear, and Baby Bear had finished their walk in Primrose Meadow. "Our porridge will be cool now," announced Father Bear. "Oh, good," said Mother Bear. "I'm terribly hungry," moaned Baby Bear. As they approached the cottage, neatly nestled in the wood, Father Bear stopped. "Someone has been trampling all higgledy-piggledy across my flower beds," he said. "Oh, yes," said Mother Bear. "And do look, they've gone round to the vegetable garden and upset your tomatoes and lettuces and marrows and—" "And runner beans." Baby Bear laughed nervously. They peered into the garden shed. "If I apprehend the responsible parties, I will tick them off most strongly," said Father Bear. "Don't get too upset, dear," said Mother Bear soothingly. "Yeah," chuckled Baby Bear. They made their way to the house. "The door's open," said Mother Bear. "Ah, giggled Baby Bear. "And someone has broken the door knocker," snapped Father Bear. As they went into the cottage, Mother Bear noticed the muddy footprints on her clean floor. Sniggered Baby Bear, and he skipped into the playroom. He saw his toy house and marched through to the kitchen. Father Bear was staring at the breakfast table. "Someone's been eating my porridge," he growled. "And someone's been eating my porridge," cried Mother Bear. "And someone's been eating my porridge, and they've eaten it all up," screamed Baby Bear. Father Bear looked down at his chair. "Someone's been sitting in my chair," he said. And Mother Bear looked down at her chair and said, "And someone's been sitting in my chair." And Baby Bear saw his chair and yelled, "And someone's been sitting in my chair, and they've smashed it." "I intend to get to the bottom of this," growled Father Bear. "Do be careful, dear," said Mother Bear. "Can I hit them?" demanded Baby Bear. The 3 bears made their way upstairs. Mother Bear saw the dirty finger marks on her pretty wallpaper. "This is too much," she whimpered. When they reached the bedroom, Father Bear said, "Someone's been sleeping in my bed." And Mother Bear said, "And someone's been sleeping in my bed." And Baby Bear jumped up and down and shrieked, "And someone's been sleeping in my bed, and she's still there." The sound of his crying woke up Goldilocks. She looked around and saw the 3 bears staring down at her. She screamed, jumped up and ran to the window, accidentally ripping down the handmade curtains. She called from the window, "Help! Help!" But no one heard her. She dashed down the stairs, accidentally knocking Mother Bear's little pictures from the wall. She tore through the kitchen, accidentally crashing into the dresser. He rushed round the playroom, accidentally upsetting the boxes of toys. The little cottage began to shake, bringing down plaster and rafters and window panes. Goldilocks raced from the house, through the woods, and back to the village. The three bears worked very hard to clear up their cottage. Father Bear put a huge padlock on his garden shed. Mother Bear stacked her crockery, paintings and curtains in boxes so that they couldn't be damaged again. And Baby Bear hid his toys in the garden. He didn't like other people playing with them.